Updated February 22, 2019, 12 hours 10 minutes and 6 seconds. You know that feeling when you leave the party early only to feel like everyone's going to start talking about you behind your back. Donald Trump is about to leave the country for a high-stakes summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. While in Washington, the Mueller report may be imminent, and the consequences could be much more grave than post-gossip hurt feelings, on both fronts. CNN reports that the special counsel's long-awaited report on possible Russian collusion with Donald Trump's 2016 campaign could come as early as next week. That's sure to infuriate the president just when he needs to be at his most measured on the global stage. But they've said this before, right? U.S. networks, all claiming insider knowledge, have been singing that soon refrain for a year now. But this time, CNN says, is different. The special counsel's team has dismissed 4 of its 17 lawyers. They've pushed carts full of files out of their office. And the grand jury that Mueller used to indict everyone from Roger Stone to Paul Manafort has been dormant for several weeks. It has to drop eventually, right? Well, the only person guaranteed to see the thing in its entirety is newly confirmed Attorney General William Barr, so for all the media's salivating, what we learn from the report could be quite limited. If that's the case though, expect an almighty stooge. Mr. Barr, in turn, will deliver his own report to Congress, saying whether he's planning to take action because of anything he's read. It's up to him whether he shares anything else. No pressure, Bill. During his confirmation hearings, Mr. Barr committed to releasing as much information as he could, but added plenty of caveats. Mr. Trump's lawyer once said he should have the opportunity to read and correct the report before the public sees any of it, but this week the president said he'd leave things totally up to the new attorney general. He's a tremendous man, a tremendous person who really respects this country and respects the Justice Department, he added. If the Attorney General tries to bury the report, expect House Democrats to start flexing those new subpoena muscles. And yet, it could still be a while before anything drips out to the public. The president could use executive privilege to block the move, cueing a complex court fight likely to unfold at a snail's pace. And just in case the president didn't have Mueller on the brain, the New York Times published an expansive expose on Trump's 2-year war on the investigations encircling him. The article outlines the president's public campaign to discredit the investigation. He's attacked it on over 1,100 occasions, and his private push to dismantle the federal machinery responsible for it. Predictably, Mr. Trump responded by attempting to discredit the paper. Nothing new there. Summit 2, Electric Boogaloo. With Mueller lurking in the background, the president will be working double time to sell KJU. Summit Mark II is a great success. But any public relations officer worth their salt would tell you it's unlikely to live up to the historic, Nobel Prize-worthy status of the first. To start with, North Korea has taken no concrete steps to dismantle its missile program. Last June, it promised to work toward denuclearization, though without any detail or timeframe. Mr. Trump said the fact that North Korea has stopped testing ballistic missiles is evidence of success, while U.S. intelligence agencies publicly say Kim Jong-un is still moving forward with its nuclear program. A recent report suggested that up to 20 undeclared missile bases remain operational. The Trump administration says that's a reason to continue to engage with North Korea, and not to freeze negotiations. Mr. Kim wants sanctions to be lifted before North Korea will reveal the extent of its nuclear effort. Mr. Trump wants the list before he lifts the sanctions. It's an impasse. There's also the continuing issue of what denuclearization actually means. For the United States it means North Korea giving up its program. For Kim Jong-un it likely means the withdrawal of U.S. nuclear assets from South Korea and the region. Sure, next week's summit could easily yield more handshakes and vague agreements to de-escalate the situation. No rush whatsoever, Mr. Trump said of denuclearization efforts this week. We're going to have our meeting. We'll see what happens. I think ultimately we're going to be very successful. White House officials say they're aware of North Korea's historical form on this front, but if there's a possibility they can get a deal, it's worth talking. And to be sure, a slow approach toward denuclearization seems the most achievable. But without measurable, visible steps, the Trump administration will have a hard time branding the summit as real diplomatic progress. Another point where the second summit may fall flat is in the amount of bright lights and doodads. The first summit had more than its fair share. There were flags aplenty, choreographed camera angles for the initial handshake, and a corny movie trailer marketing a peaceful future in North Korean real estate. Although not to be outdone by Singapore, Hanoi appears to be embracing summit fever. One barbershop is offering Trump Kim hairstyling to customers for the duration of the event. Okay then, stay tuned for a full report on Hanoi's hair situation next week. Topics: Donald Trump, government and politics, world politics, United States. First posted February 22, 2019, 10 hours 55 minutes and 44 seconds.